Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, we're going to be doing a Christmas Oguri cap run. We're going to just go through an entire run to kind of showcase how I'm approaching building her. We'll take a look at one that I've already built and kind of show how I'm wanting to improve on it. Now, as you may notice, I'm kind of in a different spot here. I have two different spots that I like to play on. And I thought I'd just go ahead and make the video here while I've been live streaming all day on Saturday. First, we'll go ahead and take a look at the current one that I've built. That does okay, but it does have the one downside in that she activates on 777s, which means you're not getting to take full advantage of all the stamina advantage you get out of her ult. Now, if we take a look here, with my Christmas Oguri cap here, a little light on the stamina, but she does survive if she gets everything to pop off. And that's primarily because we took Gourmand here. But this one's basically got preferred position. Nice thing is, unlike in Scorpio Cup, where when we were trying to quickly build her, preferred position was not reliable because it was so front heavy. And this one, especially if you're going to be building two end closers to pair alongside her, should be fairly strong for her as one of your mid-race skills. So you can get this one. I think you have like Super Creek's ult that you can inherit as well, which we're going to be bringing a Super Creek parent for it. And a couple other options. Now, this is just my first attempt on just getting one together really quickly to test her out on the Arima Keenan. And she works fairly decently, but as you've probably seen with other content creators on videos on where you actually want to trigger her is instead of using her as a, using it for the acceleration, you want to use it for the speed boost. In the sense, and then trying to just elevate yourself forward and then potentially launching off something else, whether it's getting a no stopping me off of a front runner if there's front runners, or passing the front runners and then getting angling and scheming off, or you can just get lucky pace, which could, if you get lucky pace, screw you with some of these other ones. So you might want to have some backup options, and in that case, I want to try and push for try and have 4 heals on the mid race, which means that we're going to be able to get it off way more consistently. And then, of course, I also want to get higher wit, and if I possibly can, a little bit higher stamina. Now, the deck I originally used was right here with these parents. Now, I've changed up the parents because I'm going to actually be putting angling on her again. And so I'll have to have my Sayun Sky one on here, as well as we're going to be taking Super Creek. I have a Super Creek parent now as well, so we have her option for a heal as well. Of course, I have to borrow Rico because I don't have her at MLB and SSR. Now, I will be keeping everything else the same except trading out Agnes Tachyon for a die with Scarlet Wit. Not only is it stronger on the Wit side, but it also has access to some more heals that'll be good for pace chasers. I'm going to be building her as pace. Now, I do have parents I built to build her as an end closer, but it takes a lot more work to get her fairly strong as an end closer. I just don't have time for that. I've already got decent enough end closers myself anyway, which I'll be showcasing videos on building them probably in the next couple videos I do. This is what I kind of have, and then my goal for improving her. So let's just go ahead and get right into the run here. Now, one of the things is because you're relying on getting a lot of getting her heals off, you're going to want a lot of wit on her. And luckily enough, the Arima Keenan, there's a nice long downhill where you're also going to be able to take advantage of high wit, which might be good for, or should be good for getting her into a strong position going into the late race, because you're going to want her as far forward as possible and potentially passing your front runners at the end so she can get angling off and then just accelerate using her like innate, her skill, whatever it's called in here, innate experience, nice big speed boost, maybe, and then hopefully you have like Professor of Curvature and other speed skills to help her finish out the race and not give the end closers time to pass her. The nice thing about Arima Keenan for paces, compared to like the Kika Show and the Tenno Show Spring that we did earlier with Gemini and Libra Cup, is it's much shorter, so they have a lot less time. That long straightaway at the end for the finish is much shorter. And so pace chasers are definitely doing quite well in compared to the other ones where the end closers, if they popped off and no stopping me, as well as like straightaway spurt, they easily caught up. But in this case, that is not always the case. And so very, very strong here. Now we do have Hydrate / Gourmand already built in, which will be a nice one for a mid-race skill. Now if we can get the 2 others, one of them's going to be my, of course, Super Creek parent I built here. Only got Turf 1 on her. I mean, this is a quickly thrown together one, but does have Umamusume. But Hopeful S 3-star, so we can get some speed and stamina off that. Unity Cup 2. Of course, I'm using my 3 power gold ship with long 3 with another 3 power. If we can get groundwork off, this is where we're going to get it. It's not very likely, but it is where we're going to get groundwork. We have 3 long on there as well. And then, of course, we have a Seiyun Sky parent I built last second. Not really anything crazy other than that we're going to get angling off of her. We have long 2. We have a little bit of stamina. But, of course, a power with some longs in there. And then, of course, groundwork here as well. So we have 6 groundwork sparks. So it is possible. Nice thing is, Christmas Oguri Cap has easy access to 2 of the greens for groundwork. She has Winter Runner in one of her events, as well as the Nakayama race course. So you would just need one more thing. And this can be something as simple as focus, because she's going to have such high wit to try and get that groundwork hit off. So if you can get groundwork, it will be very strong for getting her into the front of that pack, the other pace chasers. Now we can see here, we got my deck that I kind of built here. So of course we have my Fine Motion, and then the big thing for having her, I know a lot of people always ask while I'm bringing her, very high race bonus at 10 race bonus. So we have 10, she's at 8, so that's 18. Now these are both 5, so that's 28. That takes us to 38. And then when we bring, of course, we need to have a Rico. I tried doing a run with 4, but it looked like we were probably going to be low on stamina. So we're going to, of course, bring Rico just to round that out. And we'll see what kind of happens here. Main thing we need to get off of Inherit is, of course, Long S. But if we can get something like Corner Recovery would be pretty big. We don't actually have as many sparks as I would like in here, but of course we do have access to it on Kita-san Black. And then we also, on this card, have access to Preferred Position. We also can get things from Popping Sparks, or Popping Spirit Burst. We have plenty of options to get that 3rd. And if we get 3 for the mid-race, I can always take the backup if our stamina is high enough of 777s. So even if she can't get it off in the mid-race, we can even potentially use it. It can then pop off on 777s, which is not the most preferred position, but it can work, and she does win with that, especially if she's lucky pace. So that's our team, and that's our cards, and let's just go ahead and get right into it. And I'll kind of explain all the decisions like I always do on these. Now, I've been doing a lot of runs today, a lot of runs, and throwing away a lot of Umas. So my goal here with this run is to finish it regardless of what happens, just for the sake of the video, unless it's like atrocious. So if we don't get Long S, we're still going to finish it, and we're just going to assume it. And that's so you can kind of see where the stats land and how this build works. All right, I mean, it's kind of pretty standard, I think, on here. The things we're wanting to hit the most is speed and wit, of course. With 3 wit cards, it's going to be up. We're going to be hitting wit quite a bit. We want to try and get spirit bursts off on power, or sometimes stamina, depending on where everything's kind of landing. And so we're just going to go through here. But, I mean, Unity Cup is very random on where you're hitting, just because you're chasing those arrows, while also still trying to build up your friendship. Okay, so we got that here. Now, I tend to gamble quite a bit in the early stuff, because I've probably already done 50 runs today, I think. Maybe more than that. Because I'll throw them away, like, on the 4th turn, because I'll do, like, a 10% gamble and she'll fail. And then I just immediately throw her away. I'm going to probably, unless I see, like, something ungodly to gamble on, we'll probably pull back a little bit, just for the sake of the video. But we'll see. I can always restart the run and just make a good cut in the video to make it work. So far, we're not having any big gambles showing up here. But, I mean, it's pretty typical. The decisions here are just try and get as much friendship and spirit energy as you can on the bubbles. So we're going to go with power here. We want to try and get our power as high as we can. Now, as I said, as I showed with the sparks here, we do have a good chunk of power. So we should be able to get power fairly high. Anything stamina is going to be kind of the worry. Even though Oguri Cap can skimp out on it, you still need to have enough to make it work. Alright. There's our Rico. Not really in the best position here. I've been doing a lot of runs without Rico today, so I gotta train my muscle memory to use her. Okay, got a nice one here. Okay, we got Die with Scarlet's events out of the way. Okay, there was a nice mood hit. I will say, having Rico will be nice and convenient for keeping her mood up. Okay, we'll take that. I try and, if she lands decently, I try and chase her to an extent, because it basically buys you extra turns if you're using her from that energy reduction. Okay, we got a double hit there on stamina versus one here. Let's go on that wit one so we can get her up, plus her. We really need to get her to green. And that's good. That got her. She might be green now. We might be able to get her event, which is pretty good timing. So. Oh, I left her as... I try to run... I typically run her as pace through this. One of the negatives of Christmas Oguri Cap when you're doing runs with her is she effectively doesn't have an ult when you're doing an ace run, because she does not... It requires the heals, and until you take the heals, which you're not going to take until the end, because you can get the discounts, she effectively doesn't have an ult, and so you just gotta be really strong stats against your opponents, basically. But she does well enough. Okay, we have a little stamina hit here. Friendship going up okay here. Fine motion a little bit lower than I like. Oh, we have Rico showing up, though. Okay, we're at least getting pretty balanced here. We're not having to really heavily rest. We're jumping back and forth. Would like to get a nice energy event, though, if we can. That's what we'd like to see. Lots of arrows. Big wit hit. We can get ahead of the game on these, the teams that make the Unity Cup easier. It's always, nice to see. Okay, nice power hit here. Okay, we're a little bit in that gambling zone. Gotta hope we can... Okay, we'll take that one nice and easy. Getting her ready to pop off. Fine motion, almost there. We're like right there. Okay, another good hit. Liking what I'm seeing. We're getting a lot of bubbles ready to pop, and now we can hit anything without any risk. Okay. Oh my goodness, a double speed or a double wit. Of course, we need to get that speed. We'll take that. Now, hopefully we can... Of course we're going to get the downside there, but we can always use Rico if needed here. Maybe she'll give it to us right now. Okay, we're getting right to this point. Okay, fine motion's now ready for rainbows. Okay, now we're at the G1s. I don't like to do anything until the G1s. Not anything strong enough. And the race can actually give us a mood up too, so let's do it. In a lot of cases, I do both of these races. Oguri Cap's fairly good at... fairly strong because you're doing so much wit, plus bringing a Rico, that you very rarely rest. And I feel like I can buy a lot more races. I'm able to typically get her to about 2,000 skill points. I know I have more of a whale deck than your average person will have. But trying to get these extra races in is quite important for the skill points, as you're going to need a lot of them just for the heals alone. Oh, I clicked the bottom one. I did not mean to do that. That's fine. Second and third place seem to be fairly normal for her. You get max skill points, but you do lose out on some of the stats. It's when you get like less than that that really hurts. All right. Ooh. Well, we're gonna gamble here. This is where some people might not want to gamble. This could kill the run right off the bat. And there we go. We got it. So, Passing Pro. I can't even remember what that one is. That might be one of the gambling heals. You might be able to take it. All right. So we are rank E. Unless I'm like D at this point. I pretty much always do the middle one now. This one's so gambly and it kills so many runs just because you have so few teammates that even if they're strong, all it takes is a bad run on them or a draw and you lose. The draws are basically what caused me to lose those the most often. Because even though they beat the opponent, if they're not in first place, it's a draw. Okay, we're going to take our energy here. Hopefully we get a wit hit. Always like to get a big wit one here. We have 3 wit cards. That one we're not going to gamble on. We're strong enough on speed. We do need to make sure we use our Rico, so this is a good opportunity to just knock out one of her hits. Don't want to be the times where I'll go all the way almost to the end of the run and have not used like any of your events and you're trying to rush them out. And now we got a lot of options. We have speed. Well, that one's an easy one to make. Our speed stat is fairly strong right now, but that's what happens when you're 15% speed. Another Passing Pro. I forget what that one is. I think it's the one when you're attempting to pass, which is pretty good there. Okay, we're right at that. We want to make sure we can get to that 50% range. Looking good. Okay, we have a fairly good power hit here. We're going to do that. Get that extra power. You might hear my dogs running around here in the background. Okay, we got Professor of Curvature. That's usually something I'm always end up missing out on. Okay. We have a nice wit hit here. Hit that. And it's only 8%. We're going to go over that. Try not to rest. Or only... I try and keep Rico available for the... Ooh, we hit C. That's really good too. That means we're ahead of the curve on the Unity Cup. So, where are we at? Yeah, we have Inspiration right here. Some nice up arrows there. I'm not seeing anything too crazy though. Let's go ahead and give ourselves some options here and use her to get us over that 50%. Yeah, that buys us a lot of options. We are kind of ahead on speed. I don't really like that one. There's not really anything else coming with it. There's nothing on there. Could say this one's okay. It keeps us pretty close. I'm gonna go ahead and do that one, and then we'll get that. So we can get some extra power there. Power is one of the harder ones to get, even though I have a lot of sparks for it. So if we can walk away with around 1,000 power, that'd be great. Okay, here's the big Inspiration hit. Come on, we gotta get that long S. Usually I'll throw away the Uma right here if I don't get long S. But we're gonna play it through and see what happens. Usually I would have just called it a day and said that's it. Okay, nothing good there. Okay, we're at least burning through our Rico. I'm going to leave the last 2 just for insurances on mood downs. So we might end up resting here since we've used her pretty well so far. Okay, we got 2 double arrows there. I'll take those. Although having 3 wits, we're not getting a very many doubles, which kind of sucks. Now in here, I try and get an extra race. We'll see if we can pull off doing another extra race here. There's all she can do all these G1s. So if there's not a really good hit here, we'll do an extra G1. Okay, there's a nice stamina hit. And it's nice hitting the stamina on your way to getting to the summer too. So you have max energy for the summer. Okay, that's an easy just race. We might be able to race and do a nice wit hit, bring it back up to close to max. Okay, got a power off that one. That's pretty good. Okay, this is our hydrate discount. Always take that. We haven't seen the events for the greens yet. Ooh, we got charming. Don't really need it. And that's why, see, we can take that. We're now right back up, ready for the summer. And how many races am I aiming for? I've seen, when I get around 2,000 skill points, around that 16 to 18 races. So being C is pretty nice, because we should, keyword should have no issue with this. When you're ahead of them on the rank. Alright. Max energy, we have a lot of options going into the summer. Always good. Of course, we get nothing going into it. It's an okay stamina hit. Urara's going up. Let's do it. Stamina's usually fairly low for me, so we definitely want to make sure we hit it. Okay, let's just get that energy back. We can pop off that Urara we just topped up. B. Okay, we're still way ahead now. Man, I really don't like popping off every time on wit. But it's going to be good. I'm just a little worried. The big worry I have right now is going to be stamina. I mean, you can get away with low stamina on Christmas Oguri Cap. But too low is pretty bad. Because we only have Gourmand. I'm not bringing... I don't have any other gold heals that we can pair with her. Okay, a nice speed hit. We're sitting really good on our speed. Front runner savvy. There's preferred position right there. That's why we bring the Die with Scarlet card. Now we do have 3 that can activate in the mid race. So we have Hydrate or Gourmand. We have Super Creek. And now we have preferred position. Now, one thing that does suck is if we get Lucky Pace. This is the one negative. If we get Lucky Pace, we can be completely screwed. Because we can't activate. Okay, that one's a big Guts hit. I don't really want the Guts hit. I don't want to waste it there. It's really kind of a bad one here. We're max energy. We're going to go ahead and do a race here. Don't really like having to do G2s or G3s, but you do get a little bit of stats off them. Of course, it's Guts. But we're getting strong enough for rainbows. It's not too big of a deal. Okay. Yeah. We got 2 double arrows there. We're gonna hit that. Okay, we're getting ready to get to the G1s. Just keep an eye on my energy there. Now, if we do get an option to use Rico here, we're going to use Rico to top up our... Yeah, I don't like either of those. We're going to get ourselves back up to a great mood. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think we're on the Queen Elizabeth now. And of course we get the mood option here, but at least we'll get the energy. Man, we are getting screwed on the wits. We're getting no double wits. I don't like any of these. We're gonna race. Run's not the best run, but we'll see how the stats end up, but not liking where we're at wit-wise. We should be way ahead of where we're at, because we're just getting a lot of singles. Now, the nice thing with Oguri Cap basically being able to do all the races except sprints gives you a lot of opportunities for getting a lot of skill points off the G1s. Now, we're not going to want to do Champions Cup because that'll give her a mood down. Okay, here we go. I think is this Winter Runner? I believe it's Winter Runner. Yep. Okay, we don't need the mood, but we do need the energy here. So let's just buy the energy. Both the stats are, it's wit and speed, which is our strongest stats. So we don't need to waste it. Okay, we can set her up, get some wit. Yeah, we'll take that. We're a little bit low on speed as well. Okay, well, we don't even need this. Fairly low roll we have going on right now. Stamina is the biggest concern. We should be able to recover from the low speed, but that's going to be at the cost of stamina, which could be a problem. Okay. And we've done a ton of races, so it's going to be... We're sitting pretty good on races, so it's mostly going to hopefully be stat sticking here. But the wit cards do need to show up. That was pretty unlucky. We almost lost that one. And that will kill the run in a lot of cases. It'll make the last race that much harder. Plus less stats from it. Okay, we can take the skill points here, which is nice. Okay, that helps. That's going to help with our speed. But that's going to make stamina a lot more scary here. Alright, now we're fairly good. Okay, we've just basically recovered speed to where we want to be. Straightaway recovery is a good gambling one, too. Because that one can activate, just like Deep Breaths can activate to get speed carryover. I don't know the exact odds. I know others have calculated it. But it can be fairly strong with that. Okay, we're coming up, I believe, February stakes, unless we skipped it here. Okay, we have February stakes. So we have to do the 2 G1s, of course. Now, we're going to go ahead and do that. We have plenty of other races we can do. We don't want to blow any decent hits here. Man, these wit cards are just... We're not getting lucky on the wits at all. It's one at a time. Okay, I think we're good to do that. Alright, now we have inspiration. We're going to be looking for long S. Normally I would kill her right off the bat here if we don't get it. But we'll finish the race just to showcase what kind of stats you can be seeing. And this one is a low roll so far. The wit cards are not playing nice at all. Yeah. Ooh, we got corner recovery. This is a dead run, though. Okay, have nothing there. Okay, we're going to finish Rico off. Okay, nothing good there. Now, Tenno Show, our stamina's really low, but we can do it here if we run as late. We just need 3rd place. We'll see. It might be too low. We'll see. Yeah, we didn't get it. Yeah, I was not... that was a mistake. I should not have done that. Don't do that if your stamina's still that low. Doesn't matter. This run's dead anyway, so... Should be doing that one, as long as it's not a good hit there, so. But we still got some skill points out of it. But because our wit's so low, as well as our stamina, they're both also going to be fighting for my attention towards the end. Which will cause some problems. Speed's doing okay. Nothing here good enough to really warrant that. So we're getting ready to go in the summer, so... Man, these wit cards, I swear. There's nothing but singles. No doubles, no triples, no nothing. Yeah, another single. I mean, I try and do wit hits going up to the summer, but not that few. Now, what I like to do, if I hadn't actually finished that goal by the inspiration, and I don't get long S, I will actually purposefully let that goal fail. That way I can walk away from the run, still getting fans and the events, some event points. So that is the one nice thing, if you haven't finished that goal, is you can kill off the run a lot sooner. Alright. Now this, of course we get nothing. Okay, this is where I'm going to hit wit. Usually I try and fix, if everything else has been going good, this is usually where I try and fix wit if I can. And of course, oh my goodness, they all just disappear. Everything disappears. This seems to be a standard practice. All the cards decide to disappear by when the second summer comes. But this is where I try and fix, or try and get my stamina or power a little higher, is in the summers. And there's our second green. If you can get groundwork, there's the second green. Now we are low on speed now, as you can see. We've been getting kind of screwed. We were hoping to be carried a little bit of our speed from wit, but our wit hits have been atrocious here. Another single. Yeah, this one has collapsed. Yeah, this has been a lot of my runs today, is just cards not wanting to land. But that is what it is. And this is why, if you're one of those people that is willing to spend the carrots to do a lot of runs, killing them off or ending the run early can save you. Because yes, sometimes you can recover in the mid race, but if you don't have a strong early race, and this is I would normally gamble here, but I kind of want to showcase the stats a little bit better than if I fail that one. But let's see what we get here on these final hits. Still another single wit. Oh my goodness. This run started off good until the wit cards decided not to show up. Oh, here we go. There you go. We had very few double speeds. I mean, you gotta get that luck. The nice thing is, Christmas Oguri cap, as long as you can there's a lot of options for the heals. And you only really need long S and potentially inheriting some of your heals, like corner recovery. Corner recovery being one of the better ones. So a lot of people probably have that from swinging Maestro. So the main thing you're focused on is just getting the stats at that point. And so as long as the cards land correctly, you can pull it off. But this run kind of died because of that. But we'll see what we get here. We actually won that one. Yeah, someone in the chat say, at least I'm showing, even if you're a whale, you still got to put in the time. Even if you got like all the best cards, you still got to put in time to get a really good Uma. When you see those monsters, they not only spent money, but they've also put a lot of time into it. Let's see how high. We can do probably 2 speed hits. We get, if this was like a really close run, you just do those desperate hits. So I have some where I'm at like 1050, and it'll say you have a 30% chance of success. You just go ahead and take that 30%. If it's down here and 30% fail rate, I mean, if it's the difference between a dead run or potentially getting that max speed or close to it, and it being your final Uma, you just gotta take it. Which, we don't even get that option here, because we get 2 more if we hit that. But, as you can see, that entire, like, I don't even know if we got a single double wit. Someone in chat can say, I don't think I got a single double wit that entire time. So the double wits, not only are they good for getting more energy back, they're also good for your stats. But that was a really low roll on our wit cards, because we have 3 of them. And so... And if you actually look... Well, probably won't let me look at it here. Here we go. She has a decent special priority. She has a decent one as well. Okay, well... Now, if you have MLB Nice Nature, it'll make your life even easier. She has an okay special priority. I don't know if I don't think she does. Yeah, oh, she has 50 as well. So we have special priority on these cards. That was just an atrocious low roll. We've got right around our 2,000 skill points. 150 off on speed. If we would have gotten a lot more doubles, if we say like... We'll say 5 plus doubles. This one would probably been around 1100. We should have maxed speed, and our stamina we would have had more opportunities for stamina. But we didn't get any opportunities to hit stamina because we got screwed on the wit side. Because the wit's also our energy source. It gives us more energy, so we're having to rest less. So that's a low roll, but that's about what you have to do. And you've probably heard from a lot of people. She's not going to be easy to build for Sagittarius Cup because of the lack of skill points that we're going to have in something like in Make a New Track or Grand Live. Plus, being able to really take advantage of the fact that she doesn't need as much stamina. But if you're able to pull it off, she is going to be fairly strong. And so in this case, we have Gourmand. So I rely on Gourmand because we're going to be a lot lower. Yeah, Passing Pro is when determined to pass. So this one's a very gambly one. But we did end up getting Preferred Position. We got Corner Recovery. And we could also take Straightaway Recovery to try and gamble for that, that really good proc. You have Deep Breaths, which I don't think we got. Deep Breaths is another one that can do it. 777s is like that, hey, if you don't get in the mid-race, okay, you get something at the end of the race. But if you're really low on stamina, you're screwed anyway if you're having to activate on 777s. Of course, Innate Experience, very strong skill. And could always, I don't really know if I would take Speed Star here, but we have No Stopping Me, of course. We can always take It's On. Professor of Curvature. Oh, well, and then we have Winter Runner, Nakayama Race Course. We didn't get, we never got Groundwork either, though. But depending on that, if you can get Groundwork, you take those. In this case, I'd probably drop It's On down for the discount here. Take Winter Runner. And because we're going to be low on stamina, most times I'm going to take Nakayama too, depending Just use the race calculator to kind of see where you're sitting on your spurt rate and all that. But that is a Christmas Oguri Cap build. Really bad run. But that's what you got to do if you want to get one that's going to be very strong, that's going to have a high win rate. Well, at least in comparison to your end. If you have strong end closers too, it's not going to have like a crazy high win. Holy crap, we got a 3 wit, 3 medium. Well, I got something out of her. And her ult is good for mediums. So this might actually have some use now. We got corner recovery too, which is a good heal. So, okay, this run actually turned out okay here. We're going to go ahead and mark her as a keeper here. But that's Christmas Oguri Cap for you. And yeah, let's go ahead and see. And we can kind of compare. I'll show her. We'll compare her to my other one that I've built, just so you can see that that was a low roll. And the other one wasn't a low roll, but it wasn't like a super high roll. All right. Okay, I guess we're gonna have connection. Okay, here we go. So this was the run I ran earlier. As you can see, the difference was literally just trading her out. Now these ones are slightly better on stamina sparks. This one has 2 and 2, while the other one has 1 and 1. So that's not that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things when you actually look at the calculations on it. So you can get decent stats. This one didn't work out for having a mid race. It's relying on 999s or 777, so I definitely want something better than this. But the stats here kind of show you can get it. Guts, you just need at least to get over that 300 hump, but I would like to try and get to that 400-ish. I think for here you're wanting around 700. So it was still a little low here, but that's what the greens are for as well. But yeah, that's the run. That's Christmas Oguri Cap. And if you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.